Shalom. Almost done this thing. Oh, give me a sec. Oh yeah, and face about the idea you had. I was busy at the time, but yeah, I'm down to do that though. But yeah, we can get started. We've been in this book for a while, but for good reason. I'm gonna go through it again solo and like really go through it real slow and just meditate on a bunch of things that I came across. All right, anyway, chapter 45. When you allot the land as an inheritance, you shall set aside a sacred portion to Yah from the land, in length 25,000 long, and in width 10,000. It shall be holy within its entire boundary all around. From this shall come for the sanctuary enclosure 500 by 500 square all around, and 50 cubits of open space all around it. By this same measure you shall measure a length of 25,000 and a width of 10,000. Within it shall be the sanctuary, holy of holies. It is a sacred portion from the land. For the Kohanim, the ministrants of the sanctuary shall it be. Those who approach to minister before Yahweh, it shall be for them a place for houses, and as holy ground for the sanctuary. And another strip of 25,000 long and 10,000 wide shall be for the Levites, the ministers of the temple, as their possession, with 20 chambers. As the possession of the city, you shall allot 5,000 wide by a length of 25,000 alongside the sacred portion. For the entire house of Yasharal shall it be. Once I start reading, dude jumped out. He was in here for a good 10 minutes. So I started reading. But nah, I was finna say, 'cause I know the Devanya talked about it, wanting to draw this temple out to scale. Like I wanna I know they have in the back of the Tanakh, I guess they have their rendition of it. But I want to see somebody draw it out with the dimensions and all that and see like what they come up with. Anyway, where was you at? And there's the portion for the prince on the one and on the other sides of the sacred portion and the possession of the city, facing the sacred portion and facing the possession of the city, from the western side extending westward and from the eastern side extending eastward. The length corresponding to each of the tribal portions, from the western border to the eastern border. It shall be his as a possession in Yasharal, that my princes shall not again extort from my people. Rather they shall give the land to the house of Yasharal according to their tribes. Shall not again extort from my people. Well, we definitely didn't see this happen, yo, because we seen the princes, not the prince, the priests, the Levites going off after Babylon. They said they never again will extort from the people. Thus said Adonai Yahweh Elohim, it is too much for you, O princes of Yasharal. Set aside lawlessness and rapine, and do justice and righteousness. Desist from your evictions of my people. The word of Adonai Yahweh Elohim. Honest scales, an honest ephah, and an honest bas shall you have. The ephah and the bas shall be the same volume. The bas shall contain a tenth part of a comer, and the ephah as a tenth of a comer. Relative to the comer shall their volume be. The shekel shall be 20 garah. 20 shekels plus 25 shekels plus 15 shekels shall comprise a maneh for you. 25. This is the portion that you shall set aside, a sixth of an ephah from a comer of wheat, and shall take a sixth of an ephah from a comer of barley. The law of the oil. The bas is the measure for the oil. The bas shall be a tenth of the cord, which is 10 bas. A comer for 10 bas or a comer. And one lamb from the flock out of 200 from Yasharal's fatted animals. These are all for a meal offering, a burnt offering, and a peace offering to atone for you. The word of Adonai Yahweh Elohim. The entire people of the land shall join in this donation with the prince and Yasharal. Upon the prince shall be the responsibility for the burnt offerings, the meal offering, and the libation on the festivals and on the new moons and on the Sabbaths, on all the appointed times of the house of Yasharal. He shall prepare the sin offering, the meal offering, and the burnt offering, and the peace offering to atone on behalf of the house of Yasharal. Thus said Adonai Yahweh Elohim, in the first month, on the first of the month, you shall take an unblemished bull of the herd, and you shall cleanse the sanctuary. The Kohen shall take from the blood of the sin offering and put it on the doorposts of the temple and on the four corners of the altar shelf and on the doorposts of the gate of the inner courtyard. And so shall you do for a week in the month, to atone for contamination caused by an unwitting or ignorant person. You shall purify the house. In the first month, on the 14th day of the month, you shall have the Pesach offering, a festival of 7 days, when unleavened bread shall be eaten. On that day the prince shall bring a bull sin offering for himself and for the entire people of the land. During the 7 days of the festival he shall bring a burnt offering for Yahweh, 7 bulls and 7 rams unblemished, each day for the 7 days, and a sin offering, a goat for each day. And he shall bring a meal offering, an ephah for each bull, and an ephah for each ram, and a hin of oil for each ephah. In the 7th month, on the 15th day of the month, during the Sukkos festival, he shall do the same for the 7 days, like the sin offering, like the burnt offering, like the meal offering, and like the oil. 46. Thus said Adonai Yahweh Elohim, the gate of the inner courtyard that faces eastward shall be closed during the 6 days of labor. But on the Shabbat day it shall be open, and on the day of the new moon it shall be open. Then the prince shall enter by the way of the hall of the gate from without, and stand before the doorpost of the gate. The Kohanim will prepare his burnt offering and his peace offerings, and he will then prostrate himself at the threshold of the gate and depart. But the gate shall not be closed until the evening. Shalom. The people of the land, we're in 46 verse 3 right now. The people of the land shall prostrate themselves before Yahweh at the entrance of their gate on the Sabbaths and on the new moons. And this is the burnt offering that the prince shall bring for Yahweh on the Sabbath day, 6 unblemished sheep and an unblemished ram, and a meal offering of 1 ephah for the ram, and a meal offering of whatever his hand gives for the sheep, with a hin of oil for each ephah, on the day of the new moon, an unblemished bull from the herd, and 6 sheep and a ram. They shall be unblemished, and he shall make an ephah for the bull and an ephah for the ram as a meal offering, and for the sheep according to his means, with a hin of oil per ephah. When the prince enters, he shall enter by the way of the hall of the gate, and by the same way he shall leave. But when the populace comes before Yahweh on the appointed days, whoever comes in by the way of the northern gate to prostrate himself shall go out by way of the southern gate. And whoever comes in by way of the southern gate shall go by way of the northern gate. He shall not return by the way of the gate through which he came in. Rather he shall go out opposite it. And the prince, he shall enter among them when they enter, and when they leave, he shall leave. On the festivals and at the appointed times, the meal offering shall be an ephah for a bull and an ephah for a ram, and for the sheep, whatever his hand gives, with a hin of oil per ephah. When the prince makes a free will offering and a burnt offering, or a peace offering as a free will offering for Yahweh, they shall open for him the gate that faces eastward, and he shall make his burnt offering and his peace offerings as he does on the Shabbat day. Then he shall go out, and they shall close the gate after his departure. You shall prepare a sheep in his first year, unblemished, as a daily burnt offering for Yahweh. You shall make it every morning, and you shall bring a meal offering with it every morning, 1/6 of an ephah, 1/3 of a hin of oil with which to mix the flour. It is a meal offering to Yahweh, as an eternal portion to be offered continually. They shall make the sheep and the meal offering and the oil every morning as a continual burnt offering. Thus said Adonai Yahweh Elohim, if the prince makes a gift to one of his sons, since it is his inheritance that will belong to his sons, it is their possession by inheritance. But if he makes a gift from his inheritance to any of his servants, it shall remain his until the Jubilee year. Then it shall revert to the prince. His inheritance shall be only for his for his sons. The prince may not take from the inheritance of the people to extort their possession from them. He shall bequeath it. He shall bequeath to his sons from his own possession, so that my people will not be scattered, each man from his possession. Then he brought me through the passage that was at the side of the western gate to the sacred chambers of the Kohanim that faced northward. And behold, there was a place at its western ends. He said to me, this is the place where the Kohanim shall cook the guilt offering and the sin offering, and where they shall bake the meal offering, so as not to bring them into the outer courtyard to mingle with the people. Then he brought me out into the outer courtyard, and led me past the four corners of the courtyard. And behold, an enclosure at one corner of the courtyard, and an enclosure at the other end of the courtyard. At the four corners of the courtyard were open enclosures, 40 cubits in length and 30 cubits in width. There was one measurement for the four of them, situated in the corners. There was a row of masonry protruding all around for the four of them, and hearths were made beneath these rows all around. He said to me, these are the cooking places where the temple ministers shall cook the sacrifice of the people. 47. Then he returned me to the entrance of the temple, and water was emerging from under the threshold of the temple, going eastward, for the house faced eastward. The water ran down from under the right side of the temple, south of the altar. Then he took me out through the northern gate and led me around the outside to the outer gate by the way of the gate that faced east. And there was water trickling out from the right side. As the man left to the east with a measuring rod in his hand, he measured 1,000 cubits and led me across the water, ankle deep water. He measured another 1,000 and led me across the water, knee deep water. He measured another 1,000 and led me across waist deep water. He measured another 1,000, and it became a stream that I could not cross, for the water has swollen into water for swimming, a stream that could not be crossed. Yeah, I know you want to touch on this one, bro.
Yeah, keep going, bro. Keep going.
All right, a stream that could not be crossed. He said to me, have you seen, O son of man? He then led me and returned me to the bank of the stream. Upon my return, behold, along the bank of the streams were many trees on one side and on the other. He said to me, these waters go out to the eastern region. They descend to the Arabah and go to the sea, to the spreading sea, and the water will become sweetened. And it will be that any living thing that will swarm wherever these streams flow will live, and the fish will be exceedingly abundant, for these waters will come here, there, and they will become sweetened, so that the fish may live wherever the stream comes. It will happen that that fishermen will stand by it from Engedi to and Iglaim. They will be spreading places for nets. Their fish will be of as many species as the fish of the great sea, exceedingly abundant. But its swamps and pools will not become sweetened. They will be set aside to provide salt. Along the stream will grow every species of food tree on its banks on one side and the other. Its leaf will not wither, and its fruit will not fail. Every month it will yield new fruit, for its waters will go forth from the sanctuary, so its fruit will be for food, and its leaves for healing. That reminds me of what's it called? Was it Psalms 1 where he said you'll be planted
Yeah,
by the
that's
rivers?
Psalms 1.
Right, right.
Yeah, it's like the praises of a man, or that he does not follow the counsel of the wicked, or sit in the company of sinners or scorners, but his desire is in the Torah of Yah. And in his Torah he will meditate night and day. And he will be as a tree planted beside the river of water that brings forth its fruit in its season. And the leaves will not wither away and whatnot. It's talking about that right there, yeah. That's where they get like the fisher of man concept too in the New Testament. They ripped it right off from Ezekiel. And then if you notice, he walked out 1,000 feet, and then the water started to reach his ankles. He was walking 1,000 feet on the water. They stole it from there as well. The water is coming from the sanctuary. I'm working on two devices right here. So oh man, what did I click on that? So I could bring out the sanctuary or whatnot. Because the water is actually the Torah or whatnot. So it's like, see, the thing with like the New Testament, they'll make it like spiritual, separate from physical, but this is very spiritual, but very realistic as well. It's not fake at all. So the water is coming from the Hamikdash, from the sanctuary they call it, or in Strong's H4720 for the recording or whatnot. But it's a consecrated thing or place, especially a palace, a sanctuary, whether of Yahweh, hallowed part, the holy place, the sanctuary, right? Um, of the temple, of the tabernacle. It's the holy place. It's where the Most High is. It's where the Torah is kept. It's where the song that Moses wrote in Deuteronomy 31 that's kept on the side of the ark is kept. It's where the tablets of testimony is at. So the water is literally the Torah. And then the trees on either side, the great profusion of trees on either side, that's the Torah. That's the Torah keepers, according to Psalms 1.
You know what that makes me think of also? Not only because when they call our temple, they say the Most High resides in our, well, should reside in our mind, and like they call our between our between our ears the temple, or our temples, but also the water. Like you think of our bodies, we're like what 60-70% water. Majority of our bodies like water. So you think about it, like majority of our being should be Torah. Actually, all of it. It should be Torah, and like water is vital for life already. Like, you can't go 3 days, whatever. Most people 3 days without water, but we really shouldn't go a day without the Torah.
Right. And then he says he made the water became deep enough to swim in instead of like drown them out like the first time. So not to like kill them, to take their breath, but to like literally and kill them, but to give them a new breath when they come out of the water or whatnot. So like
That's the real baptism.
right. They stole all the New Testament from the book of Ezekiel, getting like in the book of Daniel for sure. Um well, I'm pulling it up right here. So okay, so where's it at? So verse 6, he says, "Have you seen, son of man?" And he led me and brought me back upon the bank of the stream. And when I returned, and behold, upon the bank of the stream was a very great profusion of trees on either side. And he said to me, "This water is going out to the eastern frontier, and I will descend upon the plain and come to the sea that is brought out, and the waters will be healed." So they're so they're coming from the outside, right? And then it says, "But by the stream on its bank on either side will grow every tree for food. Its leaf will not wither, neither will its fruit end. Month after month its fruits will ripen, for its waters will emanate from the sanctuary, and its fruit shall be for food, and its leaves for a cure," or whatnot. Okay, so all right, so like when he drowned them, they put their last breath. It went into the water. Like if you drown, like your last breath goes in the water. The chemical makeup of the water takes what it takes scientifically from that breath, and then the rest scientifically it like rises up out the water to like the Hashemayim, and it falls back down like the new rain or whatnot. But this time he's making it. What does it say here? And he measured 1,000 cubits, a stream that I could not cross, for the water was so high that it was water for swimming, a stream that could not be crossed. So remember, like in 43 and 44, and then Zechariah that Zaya brought out yesterday. how they try to jump over the threshold. Like you can't go over it. You can't go around it. You gotta go in it, and you can't like cross it wherever you want. It has a current flowing to it. So you see what I'm saying? Okay, so what does it say here now? And there will be a place beside which fishermen will stand from Ein Gedi to Ein Egalam. A place for spreading nets they will be. Their fish will be of many kinds, like the fish of the great sea, very many. All right, so hold on, let me go into those words real quick. Verse is at 10. 1 second. All right, so Ein Gedi. It comes from two different roots, so it's a compound word. So okay, so um, it's like a fountain, all right? That's what they say. It means like fount of the kid, or a town in the wilderness of Judah, on the western shore of the Dead Sea. And it comes from two different words, from Gedi and from Ayin. Um, Gedi H1423 for the replays. It says a young goat. It also means a kid, a young male goat, right? And then when we go back to Ayin, it means favor. It means the face. It means knowledge, humbleness, the resemblance, the presence. So you have on one side, right? You have the goat or the kid, and then on the other side you have the appearance. You have uh, the fountain. You have the humbleness. You have the knowledge. You have the presence, the resemblance, and then it says yourself on the other side. You see how that works out? Okay, so and now let's go to the other one. Actually, hold on. Let me see if the word goes a little deeper. No, it doesn't. Okay, so that was Ein Gedi, and then let's go to Ein Galayim. Ein Galayim. What's up with this thing? All right, here we go. And this is also a compound word. All right, so it's H5882, and then like the same thing. It means two calves. This is the fountain of the two calves, a place on the Dead Sea, site uncertain, right? So, where the land actually is, it means something else. Okay, so Egel, it comes from Egel, and that means a bullock or a calf, a male calf, one nearly grown, a calf or a bull calf. And then it comes from another word. It comes from Egel and Agole, which means like round or like fattened. All right, let's go back to the other half of the word. And then the other half is ayin again, which means like the eye, or showing mental qualities of mental spiritual faculties, a spring, a fountain, the knowledge, the favor, the humbleness, the resemblance, the presence, and then also like yourselves. So it's like this offering, right? Like this is literally like the offerings, the children of Israel coming towards closer to the Torah. And at first it's like very deep and they can't like get around it. They can't go anywhere because that's how the word is and you can't get around it. But when they go into it and immerse themselves into it and they draw closer to the Most High where the water is coming from, which is the Torah and the Ark of the Covenant, the throne chair of the Most High between the two cherubim, um, they start to stand on the water and walk. on it, like stand for it and like walk with conviction with the Torah. So like that's the three stages of the temple and whatnot again. So like Hosea 6:1, come and let us return to Yah, for he has torn. He will bind us up. He will heal us. He will revive us from the 2 days, and we will live before him on the third day. And come and let us know Yah, like the dawn who's going forth is sure, like the early rain and the latter rain that satisfies the earth. It's literally like everything in that verse right there.
Yeah,
Yeah, like okay, so when we read this part right here, right, it's gonna go into the land inheritance, right? But pay attention, right? Because for y'all that know where like the land is at, right? It's gonna mention three very specific things like to pay close attention to, like the same like thinking cap we had on with Deuteronomy 28:68, how that could only be one group of people. This is going to denote one very, very specific place, regardless of what they're trying to translate it as. You see what I'm trying to say? Watch this. So it's going to point out that the land mass has a northern sea as its border. It's going to have an eastern sea as its border, and then it's going to have another sea that is shared on the southern and the western side. There's only one place on the entire earth that has a northern sea as its border, an eastern sea as its border, and the same exact sea on the southern and western side. You already know what that is. It's not America, and it's not where they're saying it is. All right, so okay, let me read it. Let's see. Where'd you stop at? 12?
Con 12.
All right, so verse 13. So said Adonai Yahweh. This is the border whereby you shall divide the land for inheritance to the 12 tribes of Israel. Joseph taking two portions, and you shall inherit it, one as another, being that I lifted up my hand to give it to your forefathers. And this land shall be to you as an inheritance. It's very clear that this is only for Israel. Okay, and this is the border of the land to the northern side, from the great sea to the way to Hatalan on the road leading to Zedad, Hamath, Barathath, Sabarayam, which is between the border of Damascus and the border of Hamath, Hazar Hatakan, which is by the border of Haran. Now, don't like get thrown off by these names, because all of these Hebrew words right here, they actually mean something different than where they're going to try to tell you it's at. All right, and the border shall be from the sea to Hazar Enan, the border of Damascus, and in the northward is the border of Hamath. This is the northern side. Then read again. And the border shall be from the sea. And then the second half of the verse. This is the northern side. And the eastern side is between Haran and Damascus, between Gilead and the land. Israel is the Jordan border. From the border by the eastern sea, you shall measure. This is the eastern side. From the border by the eastern sea, you shall measure. This is the eastern side. So the northern side has a sea as its border, the eastern side, and then watch this. And the southern side is from Tamar until the water of Marabath, Kadash, to the stream that it falls into the great sea. This is the southern side. Now the KJV is going to try to put Mediterranean Sea, but it don't say that at all. It actually just says Yam Gadal, or great sea or whatnot. So it says the stream that falls into the great sea. This is the southern side. And the western side is the great sea from the border until the opposite the road leading to Hamath. This is the western side. So northern side has a sea as its border. Eastern side has a sea as its border. The southern and western side is one in the same sea as its border. They call it the Great Sea. This is not where they're saying modern Israel. If they were to put seas around modern Israel, you'd have to go all the way across China. You'd have to go all the way to the north. You'd have to go all the way straight across Europe, and then you cut off Africa underneath. And that's exactly what they've been doing for thousands of years, trying to lie to us. But anyway, we just see what it is. All right, it's not America, because where Mexico connects to America. It separates the Gulf of Mexico from the Pacific Ocean. So there's two different seas on the southern side instead of the same one. All right, so it says, and you shall divide this land among yourselves according to the tribe of Israel. And that will be what you allot as a heritage for yourselves and for the strangers who dwell in your midst, who will beget sons in your midst, and they will be to you as citizens among the children of Israel. There's no spiritual Israel. They are the strangers will be among the children of Israel, not the children of Israel. With you they will inherit of the inheritance in the midst of the tribes of Israel. So they get like whatever we feel like giving them, basically. And it shall be in the tribe which the stranger sojourns, there you shall give his inheritance. So whatever tribe feels like taking on strangers, then saying you give them a place to live and whatever, whatnot, right? Okay. Chapter 48. But they can't like approach the temple or nothing like that. And these are the names of the tribes from the northern end, besides the way to Hathalan, to the road leading to Hamath, to Hazar, Anan, at the border of Damascus, to the north side along Hamath. And he shall have from the eastern side to the sea for Dan, one portion, and along the border of Dan from the eastern side to the western side for Asher, one portion, along the border of Asher from the eastern side to the western side for Naphtali, one portion, and along the border of Naphtali from the eastern side to the western side for Manasseh, one portion, alongside the border of Manasseh from the eastern side to the western side for Ephraim, one portion, and alongside the border of Ephraim from the eastern side to the western side for Reuben, one portion, uh, and alongside the border of Reuben from the eastern side to the western side for Yahweh, one portion, and alongside the border of Yahweh from the eastern side to the western side shall be the offering that you separate, 25,000 the width and the length, like one of the portions from the eastern side to the western side, and the sanctuary shall be in its midst. And that's what Saul was reading in the beginning in the opening chapter, where the high priests and are gonna live inside of the holy of holies. This ain't never happened before. They're gonna have houses in there. The offering that you shall separate for Yahweh, its length shall be 25,000 and its width 10,000. And these shall be the offering of the sanctuary for the priest. To the north, 25,000, and to the west, the width is 10,000, and to the east, the width is 10,000, and to the south, the length is 2,500. And the sanctuary of Yahweh shall be in its midst. The hollow part will be for the priests of the sons of Zadok, who kept my watch, and who did not stray when the children of Israel strayed, as the Levites strayed. And it shall be separated for them from the offering of the land, holy of holies, Quadash Quadashiyam, along the border of the Levites, and the Levites opposite the border of the priests, 25,000 in length, and the width 10,000, every length 25,000 and width 10,000. And they shall not sell any of it or exchange it, and they shall not remove from it the name, the first of the land, for it is holy to Yahweh. And the 5,000 that remain in the width along the 25,000 is non-holy for the city. So you see like the number nine going all through this or whatnot, uh, for dwelling and for the open space, and the city shall be in its midst. So basically, it's going to be three tribes on the north, three tribes west, three tribes south, three tribes east. Uh, so it's like three, 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 three. The gates of Israel or whatnot. Then they stole that in the New Testament as well. Okay. And these are its measurements. The north side is 4,500. There's nine again right there. The southern side is 4,500 from the eastern side, 4,500, and the western side is 4,500. The city shall have an open space to the north, 250, to the south, 250, the east, 250, and to the west, 250. And the remainder in the length opposite the offering of the sanctuary, 10,000 to the east and 10,000 to the west. And it shall be opposite the offering of the sanctuary, and its grain shall be for food for those who serve the city. Okay. And as for the one who serves the city, those of all the tribes of Israel shall serve him. The entire offering is 25,000 by 25,000. But you shall separate, my bad, I had like a speech impediment today or something. But you shall separate a square for the offering of the sanctuary and for the possession of the city, and the remainder shall be for the prince on either side of the offering of the sanctuary and of the possession of the city alongside 25,000 of the offering until the border to the east and to the west alongside 25,000 until the western border opposite the portion shall belong to the prince, and the offering of the sanctuary and the sanctuary of the house shall be in its midst. Both the possession of the Levites and the possession of the city shall be in the midst of what belongs to the prince. That between the border of Yahweh and the border of Benyamin shall belong to the prince. Lanajiyah, and the rest of the tribes from the eastern side to the western side for Benjamin, one portion, alongside the border of Benjamin from the eastern side to the western side for Shamiyawan, one portion, alongside the border of Shimeon from eastern side to the western side for Issachar, one portion, alongside the border of Issachar from the eastern side to the western side, Zabialawan, one portion, alongside the border of Zabulon from the eastern side to the western side, Gad, one portion, alongside the border of Gad from the southern side shall the border be, from Tamar to the waters of Marabath Kodash to the brook until the great sea. This is the land that you shall allot of the inheritance to the tribes of Israel. And these are their divisions, says Adonai Yahweh. And these are the exits of the city. From the northern side of 4,500, there's nine again. And the gates of the city shall be after the names of the tribes of Israel. Three gates to the north. The gate of Reuben is one. The gate of Yahweh is one. The gate of Lawai or Loya is one, Levi. And to the eastern side, 4,500, there's another nine. The three gates, the gate of Yausaph is one. The gate of Benyamin is one. The gate of Dan is one. And the southern side, 4,500 measures and three gates. The gate of Shamiyawan, one. The gate of Ashakar, one. And the gate of Zabalawan, one. The western side, 4,500, nine again. Their gates are three. The gate of Gad, one. The gate of Asher, one. The gate of Naphtali, one, and around it amounts to 1,800. There's nine again. And the name of the city from that day will be Yahweh Shama'ah, like the Shema. Yahweh Shama'ah, or Yahweh is there. And that's the end of Ezekiel 48.
Yeah, I'm about to go through that thing again, man. Starting to see stuff that, like connections I didn't see before. I'm gonna definitely have to go through that thing again. It's funny though, the thousand feet or whatever. What was it, 1,000 feet? I think. Yeah, he walked the ankle, 1,000 to the knee, 1,000 to the waist. But that's how deep the Torah really is, yo. Like we don't even. We just a lot of us are just at the ankles, not probably not even at the ankles. We at the toes. You know what I'm saying? But it really do. You know what I'm saying? It really is that deep though, and it's like you can walk, you can sink or swim. It's life or death. You choose the Torah. You gonna walk in, you gotta walk in that thing. Or you're gonna drown. Yo, where you go? Mm. Yeah, I gotta go to this book again.
but I was switching to my computer. It like kicked me off.
Yeah, but I was, bro. I'm saying like with the Torah, like when it's with, like we was talking about water. Hold on, I'm on mute. But it's echoing. But yeah, I was saying like we was talking about earlier with the Torah for the people that wasn't here, like the Torah when the water coming out the temple, but just like our bodies are mostly comprised of water, and water is a necessity for life. That's how we gotta look at like the Torah, the water. We shouldn't really go a day without Torah, because it is the life. The law is the light. It is the life. It is our roadmap to the Most High. Like we can't please Him. He ain't gonna want to deal with us if we're not following His commandments. But also, I was saying like with the 1,000 feet out, it's like it's like how deep the Torah is. Like you can walk on a thing. You try to walk it, but you can also drown if you're not really, if you're not really doing what you're supposed to be doing. I guess that's how deep the thing is. You see life or death, you're gonna walk on it or you're gonna drown in it. But you choose it. You gotta stand on it.
Yeah, of course. And then what we got left is all the short prophets. We could really read all that in a day or two.
Yeah, it's about another 350 pages estimated left. I mean, we go through like what? Yeah, we can get that done depending on how much we read in the night. We can get that thing done within a week.
Well, yeah, minus Chronicles, first and second Chronicles. The prophets left should be real short.
Yeah, yeah. Especially read on Shabbat and get that thing done ASAP. Not that I'm trying to rush through it, but
Yeah, I'm not trying to rush through it either, but I'm trying to start up again as soon as we finish.
yeah, most of.
Yeah, that's how we really, there's like no disagreements when we like all read together. You know what I'm saying? It's like we all seen it. We just read through the whole book of Isaiah, Jeremiah, and Ezekiel. Like, it's not, I'm gonna just leave them. I'm gonna leave them boys alone with that. I'm not even gonna say. It. But that Ezekiel, nobody ain't never built Ezekiel's temple yet, and nobody ever fulfilled Ezekiel 43, Ezekiel 44. Not well, the whole temple portion. So chapter 40 to 48 has not been fulfilled. Ezekiel 34 and Ezekiel 37 has not been fulfilled. Um, it's like we have a real tough time showing that type of stuff.
Nor did the Levites. What it say? So something about the Levites will never again.
Yeah,
Um,
defraud the people, yeah, the land and stuff.
right, right. So if that already happened, then what's the point of And I'm not a teacher or a scholar on this stuff. I'm still learning mode. But when it says in what was it, Malachi? I think it was Malachi when it said um what was the one where it said something about purifying the Levites and man, I'm losing track. Where's it at? And somebody coming to make way for the turn the hearts back to the Most High and all that before the great day of the Most High. So that already happened. What's the point of that?
Yeah, that stuff ain't happened yet.
Yeah, I don't know, man. All I know is it's Most High over everything, Torah over the ways of the world, and that's just how it's gotta be, regardless what you think happened or didn't happen. So I don't even want to be around people that don't believe in the Torah, because your actions are gonna show you got no foundation.
Well, yeah, it's to say everything is like fulfilled, and then to like look at, okay, even the things that have been fulfilled, right? The characteristics, the behaviors, the wicked things that they did, the examples of things that they did. To say that already happened is not happening today. That's foolishness. That's an excuse to overlook behaviors and wrongdoings and stuff.
Right? How? Well, what other way is there to be holy or consecrated without the Torah? It don't. It don't make sense. Just like everybody else. Besides believing, I mean, there's a lot of people that believe in a creator, even if they don't know his name. But I mean, that don't really mean much. Do you believe in something if you're not, if that belief or that knowing doesn't guide your actions? You know.
Yeah. Hey, also, Sister Sage, while you're here, we just went into Ezekiel 47, where like it will be, the land mass or whatnot. If you want to do a breakdown on the land, it would be a real good time for that as well, just for like the replays or whatnot. And we got to run through this one time on YouTube so we could like show maps and all that.
Yeah, that's one thing they need to upgrade with Clubhouse. But I think they probably will eventually do it. Have the have like a live screen type thing, like a YouTube. If they do that, man, it's over.
Oh yeah, they add a camera button next to the microphone button. Hey, could y'all? Okay, you can still hear me. Okay, if they add a camera button next to the microphone button, man, it's over for YouTube. This app will take over, especially a share screen button.
Done that, or I'm gonna invest in Clubhouse. Shalom, Sage, and Adia.
Shalom.
Shalom, shalom, guys. Shalom, my brothers and my sisters. Soul and Menelec and Sage and Beauty Bug. And I think that's Keisha and Face and Rock. I don't know Rock, but shalom.
Yeah, they get that. Bro, I'm telling you, bro, this will overtake YouTube because if they do share screen, a camera button next to the microphone button, it'll overtake YouTube because on YouTube, you can't really see who's watching you unless they comment or something. But on this app, you could see who's watching you, so you could actually like it helps you relate to the audience better or whatnot. Instead of like on YouTube, you like kind of speaking in dead space.
So, should we be investing in Clubhouse? Is that what I'm hearing?
I mean, I would say so. I would they have like this group on here where it's like the people that run Clubhouse. So like they'll start to show signs and indications. when they'll like do things like that or whatnot. So like around that time, yeah, because I'm telling you, they add a camera button on here, it's a wrap for YouTube.
Yeah, you're right. I don't know now. I'm a YouTube queen. I don't know. I don't know if I can
Clubhouse
get
stock,
on YouTube.
Clubhouse stock is cheap right now, but the thing is, it's a privately owned stock right now. It's in the pre-IPO stage. Well, that was in June last year, so I don't know about now, but it's mad cheap. So if it was possible, I'd throw a couple hundred into it right now. But once that thing comes out private, I mean public, yeah, I think you should hop on that. But imagine a y'all only APP. I'm not saying the word because somebody got kicked out or his account shut down for trying to start his own thing.
I know.
Spell it
Wasn't
out.
that that was sad.
Yeah, right now it's good that they have it privately owned stock because the people that work for it, they're the only people that can buy the stock, so they're heavily invested in making the app better for the time being.
Mm. Well, I don't know. We got balloons flying around and everything else. We don't know what's gonna happen. But I'll put my money in the stocks though on that if it's looking pretty good. But remember, I'm retired here. So
Hey, wealth is made in investing. So you want to stay
mhm,
retired longer, you gotta put it in the right place.
right, that's true. You think YouTube is on their way out?
Probably. I mean, like Clubhouse goes does the camera thing. Yeah, I don't see them surviving like that. I mean, you seen what happened with what's it called, MySpace when Facebook came in.
Oh yeah, it just disappeared, didn't it?
It's still there, but there are only people on there probably
Senior citizens.
about to turn to dust right now.
Well, I'm senior citizen. Maybe I'll go on MySpace. Cause on here, it's more young people on here. Yeah, those that I don't know. We need a place for seniors, don't we? Okay, you guys are young. Y'all have a place. I'm just messing with you, Saul. I do need a place though for seniors, but yeah, almost everything now because it's the young people. It's y'all world, but I'm still in it, so you know.
Well, yeah, the Israelite community should definitely be the spaces should be open to everybody of all age groups, like the behaviors and stuff like that. It should, like people's grandmothers and grandfathers and aunties and uncles and them should all be able to come in to these spaces and feel comfortable and be able to listen to these things and play it in their house where they're not going to hear like some dude like acting like crazy. You know what I mean?
Ooh, that would be nice. There are places though, like here, you don't hear a bunch of nonsense at all. And then a couple of the rooms, they're really good. But yeah, they're not. But Stephanie and I was talking because of our age and stuff. You know, we're in our 60s. Okay, I don't know. Stephanie might be in her 60s now, but I'm in my 60s. So it's like, hmm. When I get on this app, I mostly see younger people. Uh-huh. Yeah. But thank you, Malik. So make sure you keep a place for us seniors.
Well, yeah, I think and this is the thing, right? All like the biblical spaces as a whole, especially the Israelite ones, we should kind of, make that little effort. I'll try my best as well to keep things clean because you never know. Like if we're like turning people away because of like how we act sometimes, you never know. It might be like someone's first day on Clubhouse, and they're generally interested in the subject matter, but they come in and they hear like the brothers like acting crazy or whatnot, or mistreating the women and stuff like that. Would definitely make people leave. And I think that's why we don't see like a lot of like the older brothers and sisters on here, is because of that.
I think so because it was some on here that we were all in the same age group. Because if you remember, well, no, Leilani wasn't, but me, Stephanie, and Barb, I'm older than all of them, but they're in my age group, meaning, along with me. A lot of them left, and they just go. I think this new thing too, where you're getting your citizenship or your sovereignty. I'm sorry, getting your sovereignty. Some of them are interested in that, but they left it a long time. They don't too much stay. I see Barb on now and then, but not a whole lot. And Stephanie, I think Stephanie left for a minute. I hope she comes back. I've been meaning to call her. Sure.
So I just wanted to show you guys something. Um, I'm an inventor, and I've learned. I'm 71. I've been doing this for like 50, over 50 years, and I've learned how to emulate the way carbon atoms congregate to create organisms, to create life forms. Um, and I, I put a picture on there. This is me in 1980, and you might have to touch it. You can blow it up, but that picture to if you to get a little better detail. But I'm standing on some toothpicks, even though I weigh 2,000 times as much. And if you look in my hand, which as small as it is right now, you'd have to like touch it, so it goes to my thing, and then you blow it up, you make it bigger. You'll see I've got another model made out of toothpicks, and you'll see it's a continuous array of the Star of David. And the toothpicks are put into the configuration that atoms go into in a diamond. And it's the strongest possible um, way that matter can be brought together. And it's all done so that it's all on 16-inch centers, so that plywood and sheetrock insulation, everything will fit right into it, right off the Home Depot. The materials as they exist, as they are available to us. And what this is the coordinate system that living organisms are using uh, to create life
It's hard to hear you.
forms. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
little bit? Okay. So anyway, so what I've been doing is have you guys ever noticed how our cities are all square? We got square buildings, doors, windows, magazines, computer screens. We measure things in cubic inches and square yards. But if you go out and you look at a tree, or if you look at a flower, or if you look at a crystal, or if you look at a bubble, or look at your own body, there's no boxes. And it's because nature is doing something else. We created a whole civilization that's based on the box because this guy named Descartes, um, about 600 years ago, created this thing called the Cartesian coordinate system that we teach all our children. And it's all made out of 90-degree boxes. We talk about 3 dimensions, but nature's doing something totally different. It's these toroidal spheres of energy, these atoms that are dancing around each other in these elliptical orbits, and then they congregate in these crystalline matrices. And humanity is going to go through a perceptual shift in our understanding of the way energy creates existence, and it's going to allow us to go into direct, uh, creative unity with nature. And so that the way our bodies are organized within us is the way we're going to organize our cities and houses in the future. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done externally as it's done internally. My whole life has been dedicated to trying to understand, what is it going to be like when we're doing what it is that we're supposed to be doing, when humanity is actually fulfilling our role in the universe, And what I'm seeing is that when we start creating by the same laws that created us, everything's going to change. We're going to be living in a civilization of incredible abundance, plenty for everybody. And one of the keys is that we have to start using the same patterns that energy is going into to create everything that's living. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm one of those guys that can go on for 3 days talking all about the kingdom, but I'm just going to stop there. I just wanted to let you know um, that we're on the cusp of creating this new civilization that's been prophesized for thousands of years. So
Yeah, we get it. The temple is actually like a teaching tool of the inward self, or like the mind, how to
Yeah.
navigate the mind or whatnot. Yeah, we get it.
Zamora, Yahweh, Zamora, Lama Lakanam, Zamora, Yahweh, Zamora, Lama Lakanam, K Yahweh, Ali Yawan, Nawa Red Malak, Al Kahirats, Kemalak, Kal Hal Irats, Elahayim Zamora, Mashakaya, Darashah, Yahweh, Bahamat Zayar, Quarayah. Bahaya Wata, Kwawa Wab, Halala Waya, Shaya Ra, La Yahawa, Shaya Khadash, Tahalata, Bakwa Ha, Kasaya Dayam, Yashamak, Yashael, Baashaya, Banet Zayawan, Yaga Yala, Bamalakam, Halala, Shema, Bamakawa, Bathak, Wakanawa, Zamara, La, Mazada, Kalala Waya. Zamora, Yahweh, Zamora, Lama Lakanam, Zamora, Yahweh, Zamora, Lama Lakanam, Zamora, Yahweh, Zamora, Lama Lakanam, Zamora, Yahweh, Zamora, Lama Lakanam.
Shayar El Yahweh, praiseworthy are you, who goes before us to light our paths. Shayar El Yahweh, master of legions, with a strong hand you removed us from Egypt. Shayar El Yahweh, creator of all. K Efas, Bala'ade, Etha, Wa, Ayin, Awad, Yahweh Akkad. Shayar El Yahweh, Shayar El Yahweh, Shayar El Yahweh, Zabewa.
Zamora, Yahweh, Zamora, Lama Lakanam, Zamora, Yahweh, Zamora, Lama Lakanam, Zamora, Yahweh, Zamora, Lama Lakanam, Zamora, Yahweh, Zamora, Lama Lakanam.
Now, guys, I gotta go to sleep right now. It's pretty late here. But the kingdom is going to come from within us. It's coming from it's not going to drop down out of the sky. It's going to come from within us. Nature is doing something, and it's been doing it right in front of us always. It's been doing it within us always. But we haven't been able to plug into it because we don't know how to look. It's like we don't know the window. So, anyway, I gotta go. Later, David.
Yeah, I wasn't about to listen to all that Jesus stuff he was about to put down. Oh, sir. There ain't no temple in Jesus' kingdom. You better go read that book of Revelation, no?
But what happened? You talking about Jesus?
Yeah, the kingdom he was talking about is Jesus' kingdom, but there's no temple in Jesus' kingdom.
I went to go get some drink. I came back and
Oh, you lucked out. You missed it. I
I
wish
came
I
back
missed it.
by something. And I got some music on.
It's talking about how he gonna build the temple
He he gonna
for the
build a temple?
Gentiles, the Goyim. Yeah, the Goyim gonna build a temple, man.
Hell no. Dang. I'm about to watch the replay, man. Fuck. Shit.
It's funny stuff. It's all good though. I drown them out with some music.
Shit, man. I know he said he builds temples in the comments or something. He talking about he himself is gonna build the temple.
Keep talking about we gonna build it. I don't know.
Hmm. Something new every day.
I don't know. We didn't read nothing about the Gentiles building the temple in there. But I'll try to be like nicer these days, so I just play the music instead.
Praiseworthy, the one whom Yahweh disciplines to undo the bonds of imprisonment, bondage and transgressions, our deliverer, and whom we trust to wait patiently and expecting that some mother to her young or a father to his son that he may accept rebuke and keep us of remembrance. The words written in our hearts and minds to circumcise the foreskins of our tendencies. Yahweh searches, may I reveal and nothing be hidden, that I may know you and acquire wisdom to heed that we not follow our own visions. There is no mention of you in the grave, from pits, traps, and holes. Please save those who love you. On the road to truth, set our steps. We praise you.
Raise your hands up to the heavens and praise the Most High. You are our salvation, the reason we have life. Yahweh is our healer, His promises never falter. He grants joy and laughter. Yahweh God forever.
A sweet smelling aroma from evening until morning. You are my inspiration. To your works there is no calculation unfathomable. From your treasuries you bring forth the wind, and your spirit that moves me away from transgression and sin, that I may carry out righteous deeds to please as a sweet smelling aroma. From evening until morning and an afternoon offering, let my prayers stand as incense and lifting up their hands to you who is enthroned forever, the searcher of hearts and minds, to know thoughts and intentions, guiding the steps of your devout ones to a land flowing with milk and honey and water that cures. As the early and late rains upon the earth, Yahweh restores and renews. We praise you.
Raise your hands up to the heavens and praise the Most High. Gather us to your kingdom on your holy mountain. Gather all your servants, all who trust and love you, to your house of prayer, where we call your name. Raise your hands up to the heavens and praise the Most High. You are our salvation, the reason we have life. Yahweh is our healer, His promises never falter. But He grants joy and laughter. Yahweh God forever. Yahweh God forever. Yahweh God forever.
I'm telling you, they don't want to see Brother Devion and his wife now. They got the bookwork down too. That's the next generation of all praise to the Most High.
Switch your perspective, more precious than treasure. No man can save us. Yahweh God, arise, my people, be strong and courageous. Take off those chains and make a change. Can't reach the summit, can only see the top. One path closed, another opened up. Gaze into your reflection, the water turned so cold, crystal blue to dark gray hues, reflections of the soul. Just want my people see through the lies, unmask the skies before our eyes. Examine your ways, let your soul seek Him. Raise your hands to the heavens in hope for salvation. Please heed my people, don't wait for tomorrow. This is our last chance. Spread the word, my people, of His holy name. Yahweh God, can't reach the summit, can only see the top. One path closed, another opened up. Walk through the vineyard, down by the water. All you gotta do is get in. All you gotta do is look within. He allows me to see. Praise Yahweh.
Merkaba music. I like this Merkaba music.
I'm about to go to sleep soon. I gotta get up early, y'all.
I think I'm going with you guys too. Did y'all see Darius today? Did he come on, Brother Darius? By any chance? Because he's really good with the reading in the Hebrew. That's what I've been doing too. But I'm getting off too, so and Menelec, I'm getting off Doctor, Beauty Bug. I'm so sleepy.
Yeah, chamomile. God gave me a little extra boost.
Mm, yeah. Mine is because I get up so early, so I get up between 1 and 3 every morning. That day I overslept, I was like, whoa. That was from that stuff that they gave me. So, shalom. Shalom, shalom. Y'all have a good night.
Shalom, y'all.
Shalom.